Good evening. Welcome to LoveLogical DNA Not Required. This is Michelle L. Anderson coming to you live from PodcastDetroit, Royal Oak Studios. We are looking forward to intriguing and entertaining you every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Let me start today's show by saying thank you for joining our family, which is biological by nature, LoveLogical by choice, DNA Not Required. Well, hello, everyone. Happy New Year. This is the first podcast of 2020. We have been here for a little over a year now, and I want to start off by saying thank you to those of you who helped make my first year successful. I was at an event on Saturday, and I had people come up to me and tell me that they watch my podcast and that they've listened to it and how much they enjoy it. And I want to tell you that that's very heartwarming and very appreciative. So my goal is to make 2020 rock, and I am starting off the year with a happy, positive sister who has a true LoveLogical heart. No one would ever believe that we just met. It's been 3 weeks now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been about 3 weeks now that we met. We met while I was actually being interviewed for 313 Believe. Yes, in Detroit. And Shaniqua Suggs came down to, I pronounced it wrong, Shaquana. I don't know why I said Shaniqua.
Nerves.
Shaquana Suggs came down to actually watch how a podcast goes, and I just happened to be the guest that evening, and we started talking, and I told her about LoveLogical. She understood right away what LoveLogical was. She ended up purchasing a sweatshirt that I actually brought down to show on the show, and it ended up being the size that she needed. She ended up purchasing T-shirt for a Christmas gift for someone else.
My LoveLogical mom.
And we've been thick as thieves ever since. And I know that she's going to be a very important part of 2020 because we were brought together for a purpose. We have a lot of the same goals. We have a lot of the same dreams. And there are things that we're both working on that I know that we'll be able to help each other with. So we have strengths and weaknesses that actually complement each other. So that's a good thing. And that's not something that you find on a regular basis. So welcome to my show, Miss Shaquana Suggs of Potluck Kitchen Cafe Detroit. And one thing that I love to say, dope collard greens.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Shaquana, I'm gonna call you out. She's nervous tonight, you guys, so we're gonna have to pull her up out of this. So come on up closer to the mic, relax in that chair so we can have us a conversation. Because you can't be doing Potluck Kitchen Cafe, telling stories and stuff and being nervous just because you're on a podcast. We calling you out tonight.
It be like that sometimes.
I know.
Girl.
You know what? Sometimes it depends on who my guests are. I find myself being a little nervous, but once I usually get going, the nerves go away, and we're just having a conversation, and you have just titles of your business that is a conversation within itself with the Potluck Kitchen Cafe Detroit and Dope Collard Greens, but I'm going to leave them wanting a little bit more. Tell us about Shaquana and why you embraced LoveLogical as fast as you did.
I embraced it because the essence of LoveLogical, no DNA required, has been, it really gives a title to my life.
Mm-hmm.
It gives a title to the journey that I've been on.
Mm-hmm.
And it just really, it summed it up.
Mm-hmm.
I told you that.
Yeah.
When I got home and I had a chance to really process everything, I said, well, wow, my whole life has been about the kindness of strangers and what strangers have been in my life or people that are not related to me, and who they became in my life. And some of those people are just pivotal to the person I am today. And it just made sense. It clicked. The whole essence of LoveLogical.
It just clicked. LoveLogical, DNA not required. It clicked. Now, when you think, that first person that came to mind, you had someone who came to mind. Who was it?
I call her my godmom, but she's really a really great friend.
Okay.
She is. My mom passed away in May of 2015, and almost that same week, I met her. And we've been thick as thieves since. And she is just like my mom. She has, even when she calls my name, she says it the same way. She has ways like my mom, and they actually have the same journey in life.
Okay.
And she's helped me understand a lot of things that I didn't understand before my mom passed away.
How does she say your name that's unique? Can you give it to us? Now, you're a storyteller now, so I want to hear this one. How'd she say your name?
Kwana. Kwana. We were in CVS one time, and she was howling across the store, Kwana. And I had to do a double take, like, Lord, she sounds just like my mama. So, yeah, they're so much alike, and I'm just blessed to have her in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, see, and it's almost like it feels good when you have someone who you can really look up to after you've lost your biological mom.
Yes.
That's there. And I was blessed to have a biological mom who was the most amazing woman in the world. I talk about her a lot because if it wasn't for Phyllis, I would not have the LoveLogical heart that I have, because my mother embraced everyone. We had the Kool-Aid house, growing up.
Yeah.
So I truly get what you mean. And then I was also very blessed to have a LoveLogical at the same time. My first boyfriend, his mother, Miss Jean Adams, she was there for me in many ways. And then after I lost my mom, she was still there.
Yeah.
So you never know who's going to be sent for what reason and for what season.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So tell me a little bit about some of your other LoveLogicals, because you have a village.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I would have to kind of take you back a little.
Come take me back.
My mom, she had many struggles in life that kind of tore our family apart.
Okay.
And I kind of had to step up, as a child and teen and adult life, in places where I probably, for things that I probably shouldn't have to. But when I lost her, when she passed away, it was unexpected, and it was at a time where we were actually healing. We were on a journey that I hadn't experienced before.
Okay.
And I was looking forward to what was going to happen in our relationship, and she passed away suddenly.
Okay.
And so I was at a place where, I was confused. And I didn't really know what the purpose was in bringing us together only to take her away so fast. And but at that same time, I've been reaching for my goals and dreams for a very long time, which is potluck kitchen.
Okay.
And I was in the process of, working on that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started by retracing some of my roots in the city.
Okay.
And one of those roads led me to a soup kitchen that was familiar to me in my childhood. So I would go and visit the soup kitchen and volunteer, and I had met some people, and I was involved in their agriculture program and everything. So when my mom passed away, I went back to tell some friends that my mom had passed.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular day, it was a few days after she passed, and so I went to talk to a friend, and my friend introduced me to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was talking to this person, she stopped me mid-sentence and said, "Wait a minute, is your mom named BJ?" That's what they called her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "Yeah." And we both just bust out crying. She's like, "I loved her. That was my friend, this, that, and the third." And she invited me to a women's meeting
Mm-hmm.
that was going on inside the kitchen. And so I agreed, and I went to the kitchen. I went to the women's meeting, and it's been 5 years
That you've been going to the women's
that
meetings.
I've been going to
That's
this
the
women's
pictures that I
meeting.
saw.
Yes.
Now, can you share the name of the women's meeting, or is it a more of a private meeting?
No, it's actually open to the public.
Okay.
And well, a few years in, I was given the opportunity of a leadership role.
Okay.
And it took me a while. It probably took me a whole year to accept that role. And I accepted the role, and I kind of brought with me the idea of healing.
Okay.
And part of my healing journey has always been supporting other women. So we kind of went with Sisters in Support.
Sisters in Support.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sis. So if you ever hear me say sis, which I say a lot.
Sisters in Support, yes.
To me, it means Sisters in Support.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are my sisters in support. And
I like it.
We just love on each other, and they have become my LoveLogical family.
Okay.
And it's been, this May coming, it'll be 5 years.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. And they're part of the soup kitchen as well?
Well, not well. Some are. A lot of the women are women in recovery, but not all. Some come for whatever reason they choose to come. I've invited other people, that may come, every now and then. But women are there for all kinds of reasons, but most are there women in recovery, which makes it even more special to me because that was part of my mom's, her journey, was her struggle with recovery.
Okay.
So to see these strong women, sticking it out, and some, like my LoveLogical mom, she has over 25 years clean.
All right.
And I learned so much from her, but I learned a lot from all the women in the group. And we just pretty much, we support each other. Some, we have some that are homeless. We have some that still struggle with addiction. Some struggle with other things. And some are there just to support other women. And I think that that's what kind of makes it special, because we're all, when we're in that room, we're all equals. We're all the same, and there's no judgment. And it's really a beautiful thing, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it.
I love it. I do. One of the things that's very important to me is women reaching out and helping each other, because at one point in time, when women were considered, especially within the African American community, we considered as crabs in a barrel. And we did not really help each other the way that we should, helping each other with our businesses, helping each other with struggles, finances, teaching each other.
Absolutely.
Supporting each other's businesses and any other endeavors that we have. And now, I belong to a community of women where we are lifting and we're giving each other a hand up instead of a hand out.
Absolutely.
And that it's strong and it's powerful. And it's not, it feels good to see professional women coming together and supporting. And I also have another group that I go to on Mondays. And it is women from all different walks of life. Some of them are in recovery, as you've stated. Some of them are homeless, as you've stated. Some of them have never had any type of addictions that way, but they may have, financial struggles,
Yes.
or they may have PTSD. They may have, something that's going on to hold them down inside. But when everyone gets together, like I said, you're lifting each other up.
Absolutely.
And that's what we are supposed to do. I think that, one of the things when I sit back and I look at it, and, they say with our chromosomes, a woman has two X chromosomes, a man has an XY. Well, you link those X's together, and you're going to end up holding on to each other to make those X's.
Girl, you better preach. You better preach.
You hold on to make those X's. So
Absolutely.
if you have an opportunity that you can help one of your sisters with, then you're supposed to help. You see someone with a business, like with you, right away. You said, how much are those sweatshirts? And I told you what I was selling it for Christmas. And you said, I want one. You didn't say, can you give me more off? You didn't say, well, can you just hook me up or anything like that? You were like, okay. And then you called me and said, I need another one. And that's what we're supposed to do. When you do something, I'm coming. I want to be there. If I see someone who's running a business, like, okay, one of my friends, Jenny, she has her pot pie company. Christmas time, got me a pot pie. And I plan on getting a whole lot more. She's at the Royal Oak Farmers Market on the weekend. I have Ruth, who has gourmet salts. I've purchased from Ruth. I didn't go up to Ruth and say, hey, can you give me some salt so I could try? No, I purchased it.
Right.
That's what we're supposed to do. We are supposed to help each other.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad that you have sis, because we need each other. And especially, our sisters who are out here and they're homeless and they're struggling. They really need to know that they're cared for.
Absolutely.
And do you help them find shelter, or are most of them already within shelters?
Well, Capuchin actually does a lot.
Oh, the Capuchin Kitchen. Yes, it
absolutely.
does. Yes, it does.
It is an amazing place.
Yes.
It is an amazing place. That's what made me go back and give.
Okay.
Give of my time and talents, because I remember it being a place of comfort when I was a kid. So again, when I came back to trace my roots and just kind of revisit, I ended up there.
Okay.
Because I remember it being a place of comfort for us.
Capuchin Kitchen does a lot for the community, because they do the Meals on Wheels too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I've delivered those before. They do a lot.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
They do a lot for those people, not just women.
Yes.
For anyone. They do a lot of good in the neighborhood. Absolutely.
I love it.
Yes.
Now, when everyone's looking at the flyer for you today, they're going to see the Potluck Kitchen Cafe Detroit.
It's actually Potluck Kitchen Detroit.
Potluck Kitchen Detroit.
Yeah.
Okay, where'd I get the cafe from?
The email.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
it's been a journey, so the name has morphed and changed and manifest, and
you brand, you rebrand until you get it right. Because the thing is, as long as you don't stop, because you're gonna fall, you get back up, you fall, you get back up, and then you say, "Hey, village, I need help," and then the village is gonna come around you. We're gonna surround you, and we're gonna help you. Yes. So that's where you are right now. We're both surrounding ourselves with our villagers. That's helping us get to where we want to be. 2020 is the year of the woman. We're going to link our exes and we're going to do this.
Yes. Yes, Lord.
Yes. Yes.
You talk about falling, girl. All these scabs on these knees.
But you know what? If you didn't have the scabs on your knees, then that means that you never got up. And you got up. A scab over. You're going to hurt them again.
Absolutely.
Until you get it right. It's called perseverance, and you have to keep persevering. until you get it right. I learned a lesson. I've fallen so much. I have hit my head falling. I probably broke every bone in my body falling. And no matter what happens, I put that mental cast on. I get my butt up and I try it again. I try it again.
Yes.
And every time I fall, I learn a lesson. But that lesson propels me forward. I don't let the lesson pull me back. I see it as, okay, those lessons are stairs. They're stairs towards your goal. Mm-hmm. Every lesson learned is a step. Mm-hmm. And as long as you don't repeat the same thing over and over again, you good. And sometimes you may, because sometimes, we may fall on our knees, but until we fall on our big heads, we may not get it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But we keep going. LoveLogical it's been a journey within itself, but there's growth.
Yes.
And as long as there's growth, then there's success. And my level of success, each level of success is a little bit higher than the other. Same thing with you.
I agree, yes.
And I don't know. I see so much. And I know that we were placed together because your journey is similar to mine. And sometimes you have to see somebody else's journey to realize where you are on yours.
Yes. We talked about that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So link it on. So another thing is, I got to say it. I love saying it for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
Dope collard greens.
Yes, ma'am.
And when I think of that, I do think of the collard greens on the table just about every Sunday, every holiday. Mm-hmm. We always have our greens. Now, my mother was a mustard, turnip, collard green type woman. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we had mustard and turnips. Sometimes we had the collard greens. But collard greens, to me, is a staple in an African-American household.
Yes.
And when you think of the greens, you think of the big mamas back in the day. Mm-hmm. You think of those Sunday dinners. You think of soul food. So, tell us about your dope collard greens.
Well, dope collard greens is one of our staple menu items. Mm-hmm. But the name, before they were just collard greens with smoked turkey, before they were just like bomb collard greens, yummy, tasty collard greens.
The old school bomb.
Yeah.
These are the bomb.
But now my collard greens has a different meaning. It kind of represents my story. Mm-hmm. And I always say my story, is our story, because everything about me is hospitality. So it kind of became a platform.
Okay.
So again, let me go back into my story.
We're going back. Yes.
On that, okay, when I got reunited with my mom,
okay,
we were reunited for 9 months. 9 months in the beginning and 9 months in the end, I always say. But during that 9 months of healing, and we started recording our journey, our life.
Okay.
Because we would always say that people wouldn't believe some of the things that we've been through and, some of our stories. She was, really, really funny. Mm-hmm. And I actually have footage of us, riding around, reminiscing, visiting old neighborhoods, and her telling some of her stories. And it's amazing because I had no idea that she wouldn't be here.
That's beautiful.
So in that 9 months, I cook. Mm-hmm. And I found out that she loved my collard greens. Mm-hmm. And I mean, when she would eat them, she would literally hum and kind of dance.
Do her little dance.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my food. That's my good food dance. Yeah. To everybody who's been around me, I close my eyes and get my groove on when the food is good.
Yes. And it was always just really funny. But So when she passed away, like that next Sunday or Sunday after, however long it was that I made collard greens after that, I was talking with my husband and, we were eating and I'm like, you know what? My mom loved my collard greens. She loved a lot of my food, but she was really picky. But she really loved the collard greens. And I said, wow, I created something that she loved, because her addiction took her away from me. And I said, but I created something that she loved. And I said, oh, and flip the script. In the hip community, dope is a good thing.
Dope is a good thing.
Absolutely. So I said, okay, so it's not a negative thing. The dope that took her away is now the dope that brought her back and gave me something good. So that's kind of like where the whole dope collard greens came
I love
from.
it. I love it. You know what? That's deep. That's deep.
Yeah.
But that also, I'm sure that she's smiling down. Just the thought of what you just said, that we had 9 months in the beginning and 9 months in the end, that gave me goosebumps.
Yep.
Because that, man, I'm not at a loss of words often, but soon as you said that, I was like, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's really deep. And the fact that you took those 9 months, whether she, through her addiction and all, you spent that time with her, riding
Absolutely.
around, just looking. Can you share some of the neighborhoods, or was that something that we're going to have to wait for the book?
Nope. Well, my family is actually from Black Bottom, Detroit.
Okay.
My great-grandmother had a restaurant.
Oh.
In Black Bottom.
Okay.
And my whole family is from Black Bottom. And her stomping ground, per se, was that area. And actually, have you heard of Heidelberg?
Yeah.
The Heidelberg Project?
Yes.
Okay, so there's the Polka Dot House.
Yes.
Which is their headquarters, their little office.
Yeah, with all the mirrors and all the stuff on
that was her best friend's house.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was her best friend's home. So she hadn't been over there in quite a while. So I took her over there to see the gentrification of Heidelberg.
Right,
where so much stuff happened, so much drama. But yeah, so we went over in Heidelberg. She went through the house, and I have a recording of her walking through the house, and so we went there. We rode through Lafayette. That area,
like Shane and Lafayette area.
Yeah. Just east side, Gratiot, McDougal area, which is the Black Bottom area. Just everywhere, truthfully. But we also went rode down 7 Mile, West 7 Mile area. That was like my grandma's neighborhood because my grandmother helped raise me. So I had 2 lives. I had the bougie life with my granny, and then I had the hardcore life with my mom. And it helped balance me, I believe. So we rode from the east side to the west side.
Okay.
Just
reminiscing,
laughing and talking, and she was something else. She was hilarious. Yeah.
Do you know the name of your grandmother's restaurant in Black Bottom?
Believe it or not, my family, when I found out about it, I was like ecstatic. Like, are you kidding me? So I started questioning everybody, and nobody really remembers much. But from what I've been able to gather, it was the Purefoy house.
The Purefoy?
Yes.
Okay, I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
The Purefoy house.
Yeah. Mom and Pop, the Purefoys. That's about all I was able to get.
And do you know what type of food she served? Was it soul food? Or?
Okay, well, the owner of Bert's.
Bert's, okay.
He remembers.
Okay.
And forgive me, I wasn't prepared for this.
I'm sorry. That's why I told you it's just a regular conversation.
Yes.
So just
but,
if you don't remember, just say don't remember.
Yeah.
We move on.
At that moment, I was able to remember a little bit more, down to the address. And he remembered. And he said what he remembers are these huge sausages that they used to cut down the middle, and it burst open, and they put all the garnishes and everything on it. So that's one thing one piece of information I was able to get.
Like the peppers and onions and stuff. Okay,
yeah.
all right.
So, but other than that, unfortunately, no, I don't remember.
Yeah. See, I know my dad and everyone is gone now because that would have been something I would have asked because anything dealing with sausages, especially if they were hot sausages, then he probably would have known about it. And he used to talk about, the Black Bottom area, Hastings Street and things like that. And before, I stopped eating meat and all of that. And when I was younger, I remember us going different places, getting the sausages and stuff like that, because but usually that's Black Bottom, I would have been real little.
Yeah.
But yeah, sausage and those are a big deal in the African American community.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah, but I have one photo of her standing behind the counter, which I cherish.
Do you look like her?
I don't know. I can't really tell from the photo because it's really old and it's black and white.
Yeah.
But I do look just like my grandma. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and it was her mom. So yeah.
Okay. So and with BJ, with your mom, how much do you look like her?
I look just like her too.
Just like her.
I told you the lady was like, "It's your mom name, BJ." Yeah. So
that's cool.
3 generations. Or is that 4? Yeah.
Is that what got you into storytelling? Because you like to do storytelling. So is part of researching your history is what really got you into wanting to do storytelling, or was it something else?
There's a few things.
Okay.
One would be watching the women in my family tell stories.
Okay.
Everybody was really animated. And, coming up, you used to get the speech, if I hear anything repeated come out of my mouth.
Oh, yeah.
So I would sit back, but I would watch. I knew not to say anything, but I would watch. And as they would tell these stories, I would be able to picture what they were talking about. And I don't know, I was just really, really intrigued by it. And those are just great memories for me.
Well, back in the day, children were seen and not heard.
Yes.
We listened, but we knew not to pipe into adult conversation, to where kids now are very much so included in adult conversations, which is hard for me, very hard for me, because I know with me, I would have got, all you needed was the look,
Absolutely.
And you knew to
shut it.
So I remember hearing different things, growing up, but for you to hear those stories, that's what made you want to tell stories.
Well, that's one of the things.
Okay.
And the other is hip hop.
All right.
Like Slick Rick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's who was in the concert with Cameo and Parliament.
Remember, yeah.
It was Slick Rick.
I love me some Slick Rick.
And I took Janelle to that concert, and she was in awe. She was totally in awe.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I remember looking at his album, put the record on, and I would just sit in front of my record player and just listen, and you could just see the story. So yeah, rappers like Slick Rick inspired me. I knew I couldn't rap.
Everybody.
Nah. Couldn't rap, can't rhyme. Not really a poet. But I can write.
Okay.
And I could tell a story. And actually, I didn't realize that there was a such thing as a storyteller.
Yes.
Until there was an article in the newspaper, and I saw a story about an artist named Satori Sakor.
Okay.
And she's the founder of the Secret Society of Twisted Storytellers. And I said, oh my God, this is a real thing. Like this is what I can do that. So that's when I think the dream was born. Like, you know what? I am a storyteller.
Yeah, and
So yeah.
even with
Mm-hmm.
spoken word oftentimes is storytelling.
It is
It's
absolutely
through poetry and through short stories, well, monologues too.
yes.
So we've been telling stories for years. If you even sit back and, excuse me, I'm about to tell my age and older than me. But remember back in the day, our parents bought albums that had
Absolutely.
storytelling, that had poetry, and
Comedy.
everything else, and
Mm-hmm.
comedy. The
Yes.
comedy albums had stories
Yep.
on them.
Absolutely. So
Yes.
all of that, yes, plays a role.
Yes, and then throughout
Absolutely.
our history, many of our history was told through stories,
Absolutely.
around quilting circles and everything else, and they were passed down through the years.
Yep.
So that's how a lot of families remember their history is through
Absolutely.
the telling of stories.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And to this day, anyone who has seen me around a very elderly person, I am like a child. I will sit at their feet and I would listen to the stories that they have to tell about their lives, because oftentimes you have people, elderly people, they have so much to share, but they don't have anyone that really cares to listen to them anymore.
Absolutely.
And people are so blessed and fortunate to have an elderly relative to listen to, and I love elderly people. Love it.
Absolutely. I do as well. Yes.
My family is my mother's, my aunts, my uncles. They're all gone. As far as my immediate family, I would love to be able to sit down and listen to stories about our family that I don't get to hear anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So to be able to hear those stories,
It's healing as well.
yeah, for you to have
Telling
your
our
mom,
stories is healing.
it is
It's
for
very
you to
healing.
have your mom recorded telling stories about her life. That as your collard greens, that's dope.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It is.
And I think we need to tell more stories. The- our children,
Mm-hmm.
they need to hear our stories.
They do.
We need to hear each other's stories so we'll know we're not the only one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we can begin to heal and get rid of some of these stigmas behind some of the things that plague our communities.
The good and the bad.
Absolutely.
The good and the bad.
Absolutely, yes.
Do you think that we're getting there now, that we are on a sister self-care journey now? Self-care has become a new buzz. It's a new term. It's a new way of life.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that a lot of the sisters, and I want to shout out to Yolanda Scarsborough with the Sister Circle. Thank you for the retreats last year. Looking forward to this year. And, going to Yolanda's retreats. And then I have my Mother's Day weekend retreat for women who have lost their moms.
Yes, looking forward
And
to it.
and this is going to be our second annual at the Red Poppy. Everything will be out by next Monday. And we sat there and we laughed and we shared stories of our moms, positive stories. And, and it was just, it's healing. It's good. It feels so good.
Absolutely.
It does.
Yes, it does.
And I like to laugh. So,
Love to laugh.
love to laugh.
Yes.
So some of the stories that even in my mind, I think of stories of my mom, and oh my goodness, I can think of stuff and just crack up. Just crack up. No, I look crazy. Don't care. Because it's just a thought.
Yep.
So I love it. I love the whole concept. Do you mind if I ask the women for the retreat to come prepared to share a good positive story about their
think
moms,
that
or
would
to
be
act one out?
amazing.
Would you be okay with me
Girl, that would
using
be
that concept?
amazing. Yes.
All right, so we're gonna have can we be dope collard green stories?
Let's get it.
All right, we're gonna
Yes,
add
ma'am.
dope collard green stories to the
Yes.
agenda. I love it
Yes.
because I'm gonna get emotional. I love that concept, and the fact that you had that.
Such a blessing.
That 9 months,
Miracle.
9 months at the beginning, 9 months at the
Miracle.
end.
Mm-hmm.
That is,
Absolute
it
miracle.
is. It's a miracle.
And everything in between was a miracle. How I found her, everything. It just, ooh, God is so good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much the essence of Dope Collard Greens. It's my beauty for ashes story. Because out of so much pain, those 9 months really helped put me on a trajectory of healing.
You said a beauty for ashes.
Beauty for ashes.
Beauty for ashes.
Yes.
That's what I said. Yeah, beauty for ashes.
Yes. That's my beauty for ashes story.
You coming up with some stuff here. I'm looking forward to being in a setting where you're doing your dinners and sharing stories. I'm really looking forward to that. Do you know when you're going to start them back up again?
Well, we took a break for 2019. I told you about that.
Yes.
And so I'm planning to get back into it in 2020.
Okay.
Not planning, we will.
Okay.
Absolutely will. As a matter of fact, we are lining some things up right now.
Okay.
I don't want to speak on it right now.
We'll have to bring you back. I already know. We'll have to bring you back when you're ready for your launch.
Yes.
So that one thing that I told her, we want to get all of her intellectual property and her trademarks and all that stuff together. We want to make sure that you get your copyrights together because you have some really unique things that's about to come. And I could actually see you having franchises of what you're doing. So
I received that.
Let's I want to see it happen, and I'm looking forward to being a part of it.
Yes,
because it's not too often that you have women coming together and we all have something to offer to each other. And this has become a wonderful LoveLogical community to be a part of, a LoveLogical sisterhood. And we about to do some stuff in Detroit. Detroit is only the beginning. You know that, don't you?
Let's get it.
Detroit is the beginning.
Yes, ma'am.
And you all think Detroiters are tough and everything else, but you about to see Detroit women come together and truly make a difference because we're already doing that. Not right now. I know that we are probably about 50 strong right now of us coming together, and it's going to only get stronger. It's going to get stronger.
I'm excited.
And when it comes down to it, the best village to be in is a village that's filled with diversity of personalities, diversity of ethnicity, diversity of religion, diversity of everything. So when you add that diversity into our current, you're looking at hundreds of women, and my goal is to make it thousands of women to where we'll be able to come together in one place and just say thank you to each other.
That sounds amazing.
It's coming. 2020 is there. It's growing and it's there. And I'm so excited about it because I have wanted to see us come together for so long. And to see it happening and to be a part of it, it makes a difference. LoveLogical is biological by nature, LoveLogical by choice, DNA not required. And we're doing this. And Quana, oh Lord,
she is crazy.
Suggs,
girl,
is one of those women. You have such a strong, beautiful heart. You do.
I appreciate that.
And so the thing is, and you're soft spoken, but you have such you have this spirit about you that's just ginormous, and it's a positive thing, And so I just know that it's important. It's important for us to do what's best for the village that we're building around us. So I'm going to start singing We Are Family up in here in a minute, y'all.
Go ahead.
We're going to become Sister
Yes.
Sledge. So tell us something that is a goal for you as we're wrapping up here for 2020 without divulging your secrets. What is your goal for 2020?
My goal.
Or one of them.
Yeah. Well, the main goal is to step out on faith, be bold and courageous.
Yes.
Like, just put all fear behind me and just do it. That is my goal. That is what I'm gonna do. If I may get a little biblical here.
Go on.
Exodus 4:4 says, reach out your hand and grab it by the tail and it'll turn in your hand. And that's what I'm expecting. I'm reaching out and I'm going to grab it by the tail and I'm expecting it to turn into a rod in my hand. So.
All right. All right. I know that I learned something last year from a gentleman, Dr. Kevin. And last year he had set a goal for himself. And this year, I was like, you know what? One of the things that he said last year, I'm going to receive that and use it this year. This year is going to be the year of the prophet for LoveLogical, and the prophet is Profit.
Prophet, yes.
Yes.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
there's also going to be a lot of prophecy within that year. So yes, watch us.
And double for your trouble.
Watch us. Yes.
2020.
So watch us this year. And I just want to tell everybody this has been an awesome first year, first of the year podcast. I am happy to have you here today. I want to share that this is going to be a year for LoveLogical. We are partnering with Brilliant Detroit. We are going to be coming to you with some different motivational and meditation experiences at all of their houses this year. So it'll be one a month. We are looking forward to coming to you. It's going to be myself and Sonia Carwall. We had a meditation experience last month that I shared with you, and it was a success.
Yes, it was.
And thank you. Yes,
Yes, it
you
was.
said you got a lot out of it. So yes. So and then Brilliant Detroit has decided that yes, they're going to work with us. You're going to see a lot of us this year, and we are helping people grow. I've helped, when it comes to a lot. I have someone right now who I'm getting ready to mentor, place with a mentor to help them through the fostering process and then the adoption process. I have people who I'm helping with the mentoring process, and these are not reaching out. These are people that are just coming to me. So I know that it's meant to be because they're finding me through various means. And I am just so happy to be able to be who I am to the people that I'm being me too. And I also want to ask for prayer for my family. You guys have not seen me, but I do have a family member who is in ICU at U of M right now. And it's been a very, I don't even know how to put it. It's been a hard few weeks, and it's been a prayerful few weeks. And I'm going to ask that you do lift my family member up in prayer. Be there for my family, and know that my family, we're all LoveLogical. We were a blended family that came together. We were raised by a mother who has one of the biggest LoveLogical hearts. And we come together in unity, and we come together with LoveLogical love for those who are around us. So I want to thank everybody that has embraced LoveLogical and know that we are going to do things this year because my goal is a LoveLogical Detroit.
Yes.
DNA not required. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you for coming tonight.
It's such an honor to be your first guest of 2020.
2020.
Yes, it's such an honor, and I appreciate it so very much.
I appreciate you for being here. So
Can I share
Yes.
what we done nicknamed you?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay,
But we will share that Quana is going to have a podcast this year. So I'm sure that I will be there, and we will be lending support to your podcast as best we can.
Yes.
And good luck to everything that you do in 2020.
All
And
right.
good luck to everything that you all do in 2020, and good night.
Good night.